recession that we living in. That's what they say. So I don't play about my dignity.
Swagger titanium. I got the app on my cranium. Swagger titanium. I got the app on my cranium. Swagger titanium. I got the app on my cranium. Swagger titanium. I got the...
What up, people? It's your boy, Big Miyagi Vice. We back in the building, man. It's been a while. I've been missing you guys. We've been out here getting goals accomplished. You see the brands looking different, man. We're big, we're bold, we're vibrant, and we here for this huge fight, man. Crawford versus Spence. Going down tomorrow. You know I had to bring my comrade back, man. My ace. I've been knowing this man for quite some time. He's one of my day ones, man. Coach Jimmy Lee is definitely in the building. We're gonna talk about a couple past big fights, man. I know you guys already checked out the Plant Benavidez joint. You got Javante versus Garcia. We saw how that went down, but I want to go back so we could kind of reflect a little bit on, you know what I mean? Did they live up to the hype, to the expectation or so, man? I got my mans here to help me break this stuff down. We also gonna touch on the Japanese phenom. Naoya out here just knocking folks out crazy, man, before we get into this breakdown of Crawford and Spence, man. What's up, Coach?
Hey, it's Big Miyagi back at it with your boy, day one.
Hey,
we go back. Thanks for having me back on, man.
Yes, sir. I had to, man. My man's, you know, you out on the West Coast, but by way of Beantown, right? Is that's where you came up, Beantown, before making it to South Side, Minneapolis?
You know, I grew up in some of the most prestigious boxing towns in America, Boston. I moved out to the Twin Cities with my boy Miyagi, and that's how we know each other originally, and then continue some training out there. But I came out to the West Coast in the Bay Area, and hey, it's a totally different style out here. But I still believe we have some of the best fighters in the world, and I get to compete and train with some of the best athletes in the world, and I'm grateful for that. It made me such a better fighter to see all the different styles from coast to coast. I love it.
I saw you out there putting in work, man. Sure, you was last video I saw, man. You was banging with a dude that he had to been about 270, man. You was putting in paws on that dude, man.
You know, we gotta train for different styles, so you train against the guy in front of you, you know, and whatever style they bring, you're gonna learn a little bit from. You know, I'll probably never see me against a 300-pounder in the ring in my career, but just fighting those type of guys is gonna allow me to introduce myself to a new style, bring another dimension to my game, and I recommend everybody do the same.
Awesome, man. That's what great fighters do, man, and trainers, man. And you know, we challenge ourselves. Without pushing yourself, you can't really get to that next level. You know what I mean?
That's what it's about.
They say get comfortable with being uncomfortable, man. That's where the growth part comes in. You dig?
That's right.
I want to get, and we're gonna break down a couple of. We didn't really got to break that down. I just like to get a visual with some of the stuff that we're gonna be chopping it up and talking about. And so I want to start with this David Benavidez, man, and Caleb Plant. You know, Plant, man, I like CP. Sweet hands, man. He's a
was it a pre-fight? Pre-fight.
It was, man. Sweet hands is a volume puncher, man. He combination do. But this boy Benavidez is like Frankenstein, man.
He's gonna come forward. And no matter how much punishment he gets, he's a warrior. And respect to him. Hats off to Benavidez. But Caleb Plant really came to show his skill, his IQ, and it was just above and beyond what Benavidez was ready for, that fight. I thought Benavidez did well in the beginning of the fight, but as deep waters show, once you get tired, your insecurity is exposed, and that's what happened this fight.
But see, that's all a part of the game. You got to have that cardio.
Attrition.
Yeah, you can see him, man. See this boy, man. Benavidez, he's a dog. Like there's nothing he's scared of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He controlled the range right here beautifully. Look at that jab. He hit him when he's the only person that can make that shot. And then he attacked, moved into range when he was in control, or he had his opponent shook or surprised. So it was all the way out or all the way in. So it was a beautiful mastered fight by Caleb Plant. And hey, Benavidez had his highlights too. He really walked him down. He really put the pressure on him, during the beginning of the round, some towards the middle, but I think we all saw, it was a school. Caleb Plant took him to town.
He did, but see, he didn't get the nod though. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, because see, it's something to be said about, because if you notice, he's commanding the center of the ring each time, man. Look at David is just, and then I get it, because Caleb, he likes to fight off the back foot too. You know what I mean? Like,
Did we see a lot of attempts to get the knockout in that fight from Caleb Plant, or was he just picking him apart?
He was just, he's not a huge knockout guy.
Yeah,
he
he outthunk him every round.
Yeah, and see, he's getting it. It's just that, man. I think in the eyes of these judges, man, and even the crowd,
yeah,
they whoever's just doing that damage and just, you know what I'm saying? He's just coming. Like, he eat him and he's coming back. See, look, he's covering.
Caleb Plant is only going to attempt the knockout when he has 100% control or he has his opponent hurt. He's going to pick you apart. He's going to outthink you. He's going to beat you with every single round. That's his game plan. And it works.
TBE. Yeah, he did the brother dirty. The Darrell brother. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Caleb, that was the beautifully. That combination was nasty. It's textbook style with the hook too. Just
super loose, super range, timing, and angles were textbook in this fight. I think if any new boxer or beginning boxer wanted to really see, how to move your feet, where to range, and how to hit and not get hit back, this sweet science, this would be a great fight for them to watch.
Man, and I like sweetness, man. When I saw this white boy, I was like, hold on, man. He out here mixing them like that.
Yeah.
And he fought the Minneapolis hometown boy, Caleb Truax. Caleb versus Caleb. And it's some of my boxing homies get mad when I say this, but hey, the commentators been saying it for years. They like, look, Minnesota is where they come.
He's got some knockout power.
He does. But it's just that, man, when you see these guys, coming from different places, man, it's like the skill set is different. And don't get me wrong, we got some dogs, like even right now, Jamal James. We had Robert Brant come out of here, man. You got some guys who have done some great things, man. And it's just that, they get out there against these dudes, and it's like they get outclassed, brother. And one thing that I noticed the guys don't do enough of is get the hell out of Minnesota, man. Like you said, Michigan, out east is some places that's known for building boxers, and I think they can stand to gain a lot, experience wise.
Being in the Midwest, I had to travel a lot for sparring and to see the different styles, things of that nature, because everything's so spread out. And I think that's the reason why a lot of those Midwest fighters have a hard time really catching up to the higher end competition. Out on the East Coast and the West Coast, you don't have to drive as far to see some of those contenders. So you get a chance to really, share the ring with some of the more experienced guys, the guys that are on the next level, and then pick up your level, cater to that. Because I think once you get punched in the face, we all start to go back to the drawing board, right?
That ain't that what Mike said. Everybody got a plan until you get punched in the mouth, man.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, we gonna and like it's a nasty fight, man. I know we got a couple things.
I think this fight will be a very similar fight to the upcoming Bud and Crawford fight, as far as styles of fights. One's gonna be a counter fighter. I think Caleb Plant will play the role of Bud Crawford, and I think Benavidez will play a similar role. And I don't want to compare Errol Spence to Benavidez. Let's just say Errol Spence is a little level above this part. I think Benavidez is not taking anything away from Benavidez.
Excuse me. Not to cut you off, bro. That is actually a good comparison because they both are kind of Frankensteinish.
Yeah.
In their approach, they're going to keep coming. It's a slow breakdown. You see what I mean? Look, cover.
And how exciting was this fight? Can you imagine how exciting the Spence and Bud fight's going to be? It's going to be fireworks like this.
Bud's not as much of a volume puncher as Caleb, though. I think
Right.
he's gonna be smart. He's a system man, Bud, man, and we gonna get to that. I'm gonna tell you, we gonna get. I don't want to talk too much about from my perspective, but because I really be analyzing these dudes, man, and I love Arrow, man. Bud is different, man.
Yeah.
He's different. It speaks to a skill set when you could switch back and forth, and you're just as proficient in southpaw as you are orthodox. Like that,
Mhm.
that's a problem, man.
Yeah.
That's a problem indeed, man. And so yeah, I don't want to get too much. We go because we definitely. I know you got some footage too that you want to break down. Because I want to get to this tank joint and keep the party going from there.
Okay.
But definitely, man, a good discussion so far. I'm gonna stop sharing that one, and then we're gonna jump over to the boy, the A side, the face, what they call him, the face.
The face of boxing.
Of,
Is he the face of boxing? Can we have that conversation first?
Ooh, oh shoot. Okay, well, let me get to the tail of. Okay, boom.
I think
Bing.
ticket sales would say he's the face of boxing. I think any fight he's going to be in would be a big time fight. So
Ooh, that boy, and he got that Baltimore accent, man. He's come a long way. I know he could barely talk when he first came on the scene.
yes,
This little dude is a dog, and he's a southpaw, man.
and he's smaller than every opponent he faces. Who else do we have that in common with? Who's smaller than every single opponent he's ever faced and just dominated every single time? Mr. Mike Tyson.
Oh, but well, of course, yeah, Mike. Definitely, Mike. I was about to say Manny because Manny be putting him on his butt too. You know what I'm saying? But Mike, yeah, you know Mike is my guy, man. Mike in the peekaboo style. People know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Kind of what I just mentioned. One unique piece that nobody really paid attention to with the peekaboo is that Mike was a left-hander. People don't realize he was left-handed, but because of the style and the way Custom Model created it, it didn't matter. He was ambidextrous. Once he got in, he'd be on either side and will light you up, man.
Well, the peekaboo stance is pretty much square. I mean, your feet are pretty much just like this, just a slightly offset, whereas a traditional boxer is going to be offset, pretty good. Mike Tyson's toes were almost neck and neck, so when he reached his hands out, there was no difference in his left and right. It was just the same reach.
You're right.
He can hit you with either hand as hard as he could with as much power with left or the right. And that's the power of the peekaboo style. Is it's a style where if you go forward and you don't plan on going backwards, it's a very effective style. The weakness of the peekaboo style, I think, is it's energy consuming.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Tank Davis allows him to close the distance with a similar style as peekaboo. He doesn't really use the peekaboo, but he closes distance almost with as much ease as Tyson without using the peekaboo, if that makes sense. So it's amazing to see. I love to watch the way Genova Davis just closed the distance on his opponents and come with that power shot where he's always in position.
This dude is I'm gonna tell you, the perfect style. And like you said, because in martial arts, as martial arts progresses, we look at the gaps. Even with traditional Muay Thai versus the Holland style, there's differences and there's gaps within it, right? The traditional, they stand in front of you and they just trade. Boom, boom, boom. You catching, you evading.
Yeah.
The Holland style, it incorporates a lot of boxing and then to set up those kicks, right? So when I look at the peekaboo, and even Sugar Ray Leonard said that he said Mike Tyson was using a throwback style, even for the time that he fought in. The guys that he studied, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Jack Dempsey, these guys are the old black and white footage. Those are the guys that he kind of when he came. So it was a throwback style for the time he used it. The key though is that he's short, he's compact, right? And he stayed in your chest. So if you notice, he started off in almost a traditional stance. But like you said, once the distance got closed, now we're more square, which worked to the strength of the peekaboo, because now I can shift on either side and attack you, like you said, throw the punch with all force, like Customato would say.
Exactly.
That was this kid. I'll go.
And that's what we're seeing with Genova Davis. It's just he's not as in tight, top heavy. He's
Mm,
coming out here, but he's doing the same thing. He's walking down right in the middle of you. He's making their opponent miss with slight, faint slips and rolls, and then he's in position anyway. But he's just gonna stay in just that range where you can't hit him, and then as soon as you throw that shot, he's gonna get in 6 to 8 inches there before you even extend. And then he's gonna land that uppercut, all those power shots coming in, and then you'll see his footwork very similar to Mike Tyson, almost goes square the moment he closes the distance. So now both hands are just as powerful.
The reason I say the future, because when I train myself, what I do, because TBE, man, is the Bruce Lee it is. I'm gonna keep saying that. So, but if you could combine Floyd and Mike's style, this is who you get. That's because he'll shoulder roll you too. Tank can sit there and roll you and counter you all day. The dude's IQ was ridiculous. Even like this fight, that little short punch, people didn't even see it.
I like that.
Short, just liver, just bow. And then Ryan, it's funny because it was almost similar to how Hopkins called De La Hoya. It was the delayed reaction. He just went back and he tried to hold on. It was like, shit, drop to that knee. And people were like, what the hell? Oh, this fight is fixed. But it's like, dude, if you done ate a liver shot, man, most people would rather take a shot to the jaw than a liver shot.
2 points. I think Genova Davis already exposed it because he had paid one of the sparring partners for some information. But Ryan Garcia's liver got hit in sparring about a week or so before and was dropped in sparring. Then he had to cut weight and then dehydrate how many pounds, right? And then he was a toothpick coming in. And what does that do to your organs? Shrinks it up even more. It dehydrates all your organs inside, so you're coming in super light. So his liver was already not only injured, but it was also dehydrated.
Getting the liver now. That's the first thing I heard of. I ain't heard about him getting caught in the liver now. Now I will say that there was a clause in the contract. Now that was some BS. Like Tarver said, he said, "Dude, you're too good to request a clause in the contract about rehydrate." That was some BS. You got to call BS on that one. This was a highly anticipated fight, man. Actually, Ryan got more bread than Tank. I think people don't understand. Ryan got $30 million. Commercial. I think he got paid like $30 million for this fight, and Tank got like 4 or 5, I think.
Is that I didn't know.
As far as the fight purse itself, I don't know what be going on behind the doors and these bets and all. That might be a whole other story coming out with cheap. But yeah, because see, Ryan, man, I guess popularity, but they're both popular as hell, man. Ryan's pretty big on social media, so he put asses in the seats as well. You see that it's a packed house out there, man, and they brought
Vegas had him heavily, so the fans were really going for Ryan Garcia. I think the fans were as split as you can get. There was definitely some Tank Davis fans, but I think Ryan Garcia definitely had the majority of the fans that night for that fight. Ryan Garcia just took a lot of them.
The boy can crack, man.
Tank Davis took a lot of them.
That's one thing about it. They gonna bang. They gonna get in here. They gonna bang with you, and they hit hard. And this dude Ryan, he's got the range. He's almost like a Hearns too. Look, he's coming out. I ain't scared of you. This
fight was a chess match, and I think Ryan Garcia took too many chances. He wanted to get the knockout. He wanted to show a little too much that he was a better fighter. And I think he did that because he was maybe the more insecure fighter out of the two. So mentally, I think is what got this fight. I think Ryan Garcia took too many chances and then got caught, throwing power and, trying to hurt Tank Davis.
And you can't trade. I think I made a comment in one of these, I'm in several boxing groups online, and I'm like, dude, you can't, you walking this man down like he's not a knockout artist. You know what I'm saying? Tank is a straight knockout, 29-0 27 KOs, dude. You gotta respect that man power. You're not finna walk in on Mike like that, bro.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
just see, he's already. It's. I think this is part
He's
is early in the round, and he's really just swinging for his neck. And as you see right there, he gets caught right there. As you start swinging for somebody's neck and missing, you have to pay. And you
and
know,
southpaws, man, them punches come at different angles. He did not see that. He
and
did
look at
not.
how Tank closes the distance just so quickly.
He's already there. You're right. Look,
He's
range.
outside. As soon as he throws it, boom, or he's out there. But as soon as he throws it, boom, he's in. He's going to engage. And there's nothing Ryan Garcia can do at that point but cover up.
Look, wait.
Look at that.
He walked into
Oh.
his range.
So
Now, see, if
exactly.
Ryan stays out, he doesn't get caught with that.
Yep. If he just picks him apart, he just tries to score. If he sits there and boxes him, I
Fight
think
tall.
this is a much closer fight.
You got to fight tall. What did Custom Motto say? When you got a short fight, make him short fighter, make him shorter. You got a taller fighter,
Stay
make
tall.
him tall. So, like you said, if he'd just stayed outward, you got the reach. Why are you walking and trying to walk him down, knowing his boy got dynamite in his hands, man?
Tank is a master at the mental game, and he got under his skin.
He learned from Floyd,
Yeah, absolutely. He got under his skin. I believe he was the more confident fighter, and it showed. Obviously.
I respect Ryan, man. First of all, for getting in there with him, and for standing toe to toe. Like, dude, okay, I'm a bang. Hey, we gonna fight. But like you said, when you play into the strengths of the other guy now, that's that mental part.
I think if we see fight number 2, I think we see a much different fight. If we see it, I don't know if Tank would give him a second shot though. That would be a risky move on Tank's behalf.
I thought the same thing too. Like down the line, I would want to see these two guys just to see how Ryan mature. Cause he's still young. You know what I mean? He's young.
Still
I would
got
like
plenty
to
of
see
time.
a part 2. Yeah, I would definitely like to see a part 2, and I would like for him to use that stick. You know what I'm saying? That range. Keep him out. Because nobody's really tested Javante like that. You jumping into his territory, he gonna put you on your. You know what I'm saying? He gonna put you on your butt, man.
Yep. And it's his positioning that gets it. It's like people understand like, oh, it's his power. He's actually outsized on almost all of his fighters. I mean, maybe not range, but he's punching upwards into his fight, so the leverage is against him. But yet he's the more powerful puncher. It's his positioning that makes him such a powerful puncher that it's really hard to get inside there as a shorter fighter and not get hit like he does. So he's a master at it. Hats off to Tank.
Cerebral. He's cerebral, man. He loved Floyd, and that's the thing. Floyd's best asset was his boxing IQ, and you would see him work with him because Tank came to Floyd. He was already well trained. Let's be clear. Shouts out to his original trainers, and so you see right there's that body shot, man.
We all know how that feels.
Icky. I don't think people fans have no clue. I'm gonna go back. They have no clue about how them damn body punches. Well, they in fights. I mean, that says nothing in itself, man. Those river shots are no joke. And see, even right here, he's just being surreal. And he even told him, like, dude, he said, I just don't think he was on my level. And that's just saying a lot because he's just being patient. Like, Tank's not worried at all about nothing. And like to your point, he's been cerebral. He's
been reactive.
Yep, being reactive. Always stays within good distance too, to be able to strike, counter, or whatever as a shorter guy. So he's never out of distance. And
what also makes him another master fighter and hard to stand in front of is his constant fakes and flinches. He's always flinching at you. You don't know when. He's coming forward. You don't know when he's coming forward because one of those mofos is going to be real. You just don't know. He's over there, boom, 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 and one of them's real. And see, here he goes with his flinches, and all of a sudden, it just looks funny. It looks like he's just reaching, and then bam, he hits you with one of them. And then it's so awkward to stand in front of a fighter like that where you can swing at the fences, and all of a sudden, as
There
soon
you
as you throw
go.
a punch, he's just there just to hit
Did-
you with a small little chipper. And then
Yeah.
that's when the next shot comes with the power.
Didn't even see it.
Yeah.
Didn't even
It's
see it.
masterful.
Ryan's like, I mean, the dude's a beast, man.
Yeah.
He's a little monster, man. So everybody's talking about Haney, you know. We'll see.
Contender. I think he's a contender, a potential contender. But I think Haney's one of the most ducked fighters right now in that weight class. So nobody wants to fight him. And I understand why.
The little dude, I saw some old footage of him and Shakur sparring, man. That was a master class. This is when they were younger.
I think I saw that video too. I think Shakur looked like he was getting the better of him. Was that the same video?
It was back and forth.
Yeah.
Shakur just seemed a little bit more because Shakur got a gold medal, right? He's a gold medalist, too, I believe. So
I think I
very
saw that video.
decorated. And he's just what he's with them kids. He's scary because you could tell he really likes this shit. Just like Tank, they really love this shit. So it's not even about the money, none. And that's the scary thing. They're dangerous and just love just beating ass. Look at it, just having fun.
And
out here, man.
confidence to the max, and they'll take the best. They'll take the hard fights if the money's there. That's the problem. They are businessmen first, but I still say those two will take the hard fights, and I respect that about them.
These young guys, man, I love it. And see, now I love to the point. This was just showing us, hey guys, we got to start fighting. You know, y'all been ducking each other. All the top guys been ducking each other and all this crap. Let's get back to boxing. Let's get back to boxing. And so I'm glad to see these guys not circling each other, man. I want to see. Haney is a problem, man. That boy can crack. I've noticed that he got hella power. He too has been to the Mayweather gym, getting some of that tutelage, man. And you know, you got some talented young dudes out here.
And again, another fighter you really can't hit very well is Haney, and it's those are the people. If you can go 10 rounds and take a handful of shots, you're gonna win almost every fight.
Bad.
Yeah.
And so this next cat, man, a Japanese phenom. This is the last one we're gonna cover right before we get to the big boys, the big dogs, big fight coming up, man. Japanese cat Naoya, the monster, man. If you haven't heard about him, man, 118 pounds of dynamite, dude. This dude is
This is what boxing needs right here.
Don't get it twisted by how he look, man. This boy is a problem.
Yeah.
24
Japan needs this for boxing. Japan's such a big boxing country that they really need a face for boxing. I know so many Japanese fighters and that has come over, actually even Japanese citizens that come over to the United States and then tell me how big boxing is in Japan. So it's really nice to see somebody like this that's going to come into the sport and really dominate and show that face for Japan.
And he's so quick. He's quick. He got power. You can tell he's kind of a sharp shooter, but he seeks blood. Once he gets you hurt, look, but he's coming over top with that right.
What makes him a monster is his killer instinct.
Exactly.
That's what makes him so dangerous. He's got the skill set behind it. He's got the fundamentals, the footwork, but he wants to go out there and hurt somebody.
And he's just
that's what makes him exciting.
That's what put the butts in the seats. That's what's gonna get him the big payday, man. And comparing it back to Mike Tyson, like the great Customato used to say, hey, I want to create a style that was exciting, that was gonna get him paid, and it was gonna put butts in the seat. And that's why, man, as much as we love Floyd, man, people will always adore and love Mike Tyson over him because Mike was a straight warrior, kill or be killed. He wasn't just trying to get points. Mike was trying. He was trying to put him in the hospital, bro. Like,
there's a lot of fighters out there with great records. 12-0, 16-0. But why aren't they getting big fights? It's because of how they win. He wins spectacularly. He comes in, gets a knockout almost every fight, and then also his ethnicity becomes a big factor as far as his fan base. And then obviously it's not limited to just the Japanese. It's also bleeds through anybody that is a fan of boxing. They want to see some of this young blood come in, dominate in such a exciting way, and it's good for boxing.
And this cat here, man, to be honest, Naoya is definitely more experienced on a pro level. This cat here, he only had a few pro fights, to be fair.
Yeah.
But the reason they probably can't find so many people to fight this kid, dude. So shouts out to Fulton for even stepping in there, man, against this boy who just been flatlining everybody he been getting in there with. And
Yeah.
he's getting in there trades, and that's what real warriors do, man. You know.
He
Uh,
reminds me of a small young Pacquiao, if you remember that. He's just
oh
coming
yeah,
in, fakes clinches for days, punch volume coming in. You can't even see his hands. Everything looks like a 1-2. It's so fast. But if you slow it down, you can really see the technique, footwork, and science behind it.
a lot of that martial, and that's the science, man. It's definitely a
Yeah.
science to this shit, dude. I love it. The boy, he came out, man. Like I said, he had spirit, but this dude is too much, man. We want to you guys are gonna see more of him. We definitely we don't want to spend too much time on here, but be on the lookout for the monster, man. Everybody knows him as the monster. His name is Naoya.
Yes.
The boy is
I'll be
he's a
definitely
problem.
watching more of his fights.
He's a problem, man. So be looking out for him. So we'll stop sharing there. I know Jimmy, you got a couple things you wanted to break down as we lead into the Spence Crawford breakdown, man. I'm gonna add your other screen
Drum
up
roll.
here. Okay, say that you're in the screen. I got you on there. So yeah, feel free to pull your screen up. Now I'm not seeing it on my end. I think there you go.
Well, I just wanted to show the tail of the tape. We got Errol Spence coming in as the bigger fighter. We've got Terrence Crawford coming in with a little bit more experience, but also a 2-inch longer reach, 74 inches versus Errol Spence's 72 inches. So we've got Errol Spence with 1 inch taller. He'll probably even go into the fight slightly heavier than Bud Crawford. But it's going to be some fireworks in this fight. Both fighters, I believe, are going to be tactical at first. It's going to start slow, but then by the 4th to the 6th round, they're going to trade, and they're going to be happy to trade, and they'll continue to trade for the rest of the fight after that. So it'll be a very exciting fight, and I expect it could potentially go the distance. I wouldn't be surprised, but I think everybody's hoping for a knockdown or knockout.
Man, so it says who you got. That's what we here for. Who you got, man.
All right.
You want to go first or should I go first?
Should I go first? Should I go first?
I mean, you already on the road. You can go ahead.
All right. Well, I think the two big factors, I think this is about as 50-50 skill level as you can get. Nobody's going to be surprised if either one wins. I think it will definitely if I had to roll the dice and say this is about as 50-50 as you get. Now, Terrence Crawford is favored in Vegas and through most of the I guess consensus. Most people are I believe have Terrence Crawford to win this fight. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say Errol Spence, though, and here's why. Errol Spence is not, I'm sorry, Terrence Crawford is not that much faster than Errol Spence. A little bit faster, not that much faster. He's more dynamic. He comes in with southpaw. He comes in with orthodox. He can come in and come out. He can really make you pay for any mistake you might do. The only problem is Spence doesn't make that many mistakes. I think Errol Spence will try to walk him down at first, but because of the reach advantage of Crawford, they'll be able to meet in the middle and trade. And that's what's going to make this fight exciting. Nobody really has the advantage. The only real advantage I see in this fight is the experience. Terrence Crawford has 39 fights. Errol Spence has 28 professional fights. Those 11 fights a lot of times, can make a big difference. But it doesn't always. I think, I'm going to go ahead and go for the young blood, Errol Spence, by decision.
Yeah, see, I hear good points, man. Good points. Um, shoot, and like you said, man, you can't get mad either way. 50-50, it's hard to argue against either guy. Um, for me, man, and again, I like the truth, man, and I'm gonna talk about something that you left out. Uh, this boy from Omaha, man, he reminds me of Hearns. So I don't know if maybe because he looked like him a little bit,
Yeah,
but
Eddie
he's
Hearns.
just he's silky.
I can
He's
see that.
silky. He's smooth. You understand that? Like this dude is not, and he's methodical with it.
Yeah.
Not that Earl isn't. It's just that Earl is predict. We know what Earl does. You know what I mean? Like he's one. When you see him fight, it's the same,
Yeah.
right? This dude is such a, and see, he's a dog too, though. Once once he senses blood, he's gonna jump and he was going to, like this fight here, where Reporter's daddy had to throw in the towel. If Reporter one of the knockdowns, he punched the mat like damn, like he just, because the dude look, he's just smooth, he's in and he's out, right?
Yeah.
And see, Porter is about as a pressure fighter as you're gonna find. But he fought him beautifully and was able to break him down. You know what I mean? And see, when I saw Porter fight Crawford, though, remember didn't Porter drop Crawford?
He
I
did.
think he dropped him.
He did.
Or
But
something.
But he still
You see-
lost almost every single round. I believe that, Spence definitely got hit by that shot, and I remember that shot and reverberated. But if I remember that fight, I didn't feel like Spence was in. No, this fight he won. Absolutely.
Oh, you talking about no. I'm talking about Porter. No, Porter lost his. I'm
That's
talking about
what I'm
him
saying.
against
He's doing the
Spence.
fight.
Remember?
That's what I was talking about. The Spence
Oh,
fight.
I didn't hear you.
That's what Spence was in total control of that fight, even though he got dropped. Is what I was saying.
But I thought Porter won that fight, though.
Did you?
If you go back and I thought that he won. He ended up, I think Crawford ended up getting a late knockdown against him.
Yeah, the early rounds, it was definitely 50-50. I thought they went back and forth, but it was right around the 4th or 5th round. I didn't think, maybe the end of the 12th round. Actually, that 12th round was pretty freaking nice. So,
And I know Styles big fights. You know what I mean?
Think about this.
Go ahead.
If you're looking what you're seeing here, Porter is the smaller fighter. He has to close the distance fast to try to hit him. So he was coming in with a slight jab and then throwing haymakers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then that haymaker, that power shot, because of the reach disadvantage of this style of fight. See, look at that reach that he's trying to hit Crawford on right now. Right? Are we gonna see that? Are we gonna see Spence having to work that hard with his jab? He's
actually leans forward. He doesn't fight tall at all. I feel like Spence doesn't fight to his reach. You know what I mean? He like to come in and work that body. And I think you can run into some problems and get countered with a guy like Bud, because Bud is slick. Yeah. He's not just gonna let. Even with watch the way because Porter's trying to cut. It's a chess game.
Yeah,
it's chess.
So Porter's pouncing to try to miss with the timing. He wants to get inside that range right now, and then right here, Crawford's sitting there waiting on him. He knows he's coming. He just doesn't know when he's coming. So he's trying to entice him. So he's throwing a couple jabs to get Porter to come forward. The moment Porter jumps forward to close the distance, he gets caught by Crawford every single time. The problem with this upcoming fight is we're not going to see that happen. If I can show my screen here, and I show the Terrence Crawford, Kell Brook style. Now this style here, if you can see here, if I can point it, oops, excuse me. Let me go ahead and show my screen here. But this is a much as far as size of the fighter, These are pretty much reach, and I think here you're going to see a little bit more of a similar style where two people are going to box in the middle. Then you're going to see more of the Porter and
Okay.
the Crawford fight. So now it's more about timing. Who can get in, land the shot, and get out. This is what's going to be more so what we're going to see in the Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, where two guys are going to meet in the middle. They have very, very similar size and reach, and it's now just about the same exact skill level. And Bud Crawford's not going to have to go in and out. He's not going to be dynamic, just like he's doing here. He's kind of taking his time. They're in the phone booth. They're figuring each other out. And this is what we're going to see in the Errol Spence Bud Crawford fight. It's not going to be dynamic. It's not going to be him switching from left to right. It's not going to be him coming in and out. They're going to see some peaks of that with this. But if he tries to get really slick with it with Errol Spence, I think he might get caught. And I think he might do better fighting like this with the way he fought against Crawford, because he did.
But he
actually
switched
was a
against
better fighter.
Crawford too, though, didn't he? He switched because that's his. He's not a sometimey switch fight. That's his style.
Yeah.
If he finds that he's having more success as a southpaw, he's gonna stay southpaw. And here's another dynamic: how many other southpaws? Because Errol Spence is a true southpaw. He is a natural southpaw. So how many left-handers has he fought?
Well, we're looking at one right now. As a matter of fact, I'm glad you asked. So this is the Errol Spence.
Though.
Right. I'm sorry. You're right. I apologize. You're talking about Bud Crawford. You're right. I'm sorry. So I wanted to just take a little second here and actually show this fight, because again, similar size of the fighter as far as reach, timing, and the style that I think Errol Spence will fight like. So let me rewind this round right here, because I wanted to show this. So I want you to see Errol Spence and how he's gonna close the distance here. See how he steps to the outside foot here, and then when he steps to this outside foot, let me just pop up now right there. As soon as he throws his jab and he goes to the attack,
to the body with that.
He's gonna step with that pink shoe. You'll see him step to the outside, on the outside of him, and then the moment he steps to the outside of him, he's gonna trade right there to the body of the face with that power hand, and that's how he gets to the inside and allows him to attack his opponent without getting hit. What Bud Crawford's gonna end up doing though is he's gonna have to throw a punch at the exact same time when he does that to try to match him, and that's the only way he's going to be able to stop that move right there. But that's literally what we're seeing Spence do to his opponents almost every round. You say he does that same style. This is what he kind of does. He comes in, he fakes and flinches, and then he steps right in and he picks you apart on one of the angles, on the left angle or the right angle with his power shots. That's what he does, and I think that's what we're going to see more of the same of in the next fight that we're coming up.
But is that enough, man? Bud is a wizard with this shit. He's not no regular dude. No, you see what I mean?
He does.
And Garcia ain't no pushover either. You know, but see, here's the part that I said that you didn't mention that I think outside of the boxing piece is that terrible crash that Spence had. Do we really feel like he's back 100%? Because he looked good, but can we say this is the same Spence that's about to go up against? You know what I'm saying? One of them boys, man.
I think I think that's we have to wait and find out. There's nobody besides. I don't even think Spence knows that answer.
Well, only he really does.
You think he knows, or you think he feels like he's ready to go? But until you get in that ring and actually trade and get hit with one, and feel that repercussion, and can you is that gonna make an effect on you fighting through that attrition?
A lot of it is mental too. I mean, I saw, what was he in, a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or something? That was first of all, it's a blessing that he made it out of that situation. That could have been a lot worse. And he looks damn good. He's always in phenomenal shape. Um, and he's a warrior at the end of the day. He ain't gonna be told, "Oh, I'm hurt. I'm this, that, and the third." Only you really do know that as a fighter. Usually when you go into the fights as a fighter, we're never 100% anyway. You know what I mean?
Take a look at the strategy here that I want to show you. Earl Spence is just outside of Danny Garcia's punching range, right here, where he can't get hit. Earl Spence is already in his punching range at this position. Okay, so Errol Spence can actually now. The difference is Danny Garcia is 5'9". Bud Crawford is 5'9". The only difference is reach. Bud Crawford has a 74-inch reach, whereas Danny Garcia has a 69-inch reach. So he won't be able to. That's 3 to 4 inches right there that he won't have to close. So I think we're going to see something similar as far as style. He's going to be a little bit too far for Bud Crawford to hit. And then all of a sudden, when he has the timing advantage, when he has the surprise advantage, he'll come into range for a shot and get out. I don't think we're going to see a high volume punching at any one of these fighters. I think it'll be a short combination and get out.
It's gonna be a chess match. Sheesh, man. It's because I just thought about something else too. As I'm sitting here, Spence did give Floyd some problems years ago. They said, that happened behind the doors. This is kind of one of them famous stories.
I've heard it. As a matter of fact, let's talk about it.
They said that Errol is one of the only guys that come in and give Floyd some real work. And even was it Leonard Ellerby or whatever his Floyd's manager? He was like, because he was circulating around the web, and he was like, yeah, he gave some good work. He gave us some good work. We can, it was what it was. I mean, Floyd is Floyd. He said, but he gave. And see, that's the thing for him to say that.
Yeah.
Means a lot because dang, you ain't heard nobody really say about nobody giving Floyd some good work. Usually, Floyd's in there really clowning his partners. We all see the footage. He's humiliating dudes and the whole nine.
I think we'd all pay a little money to see that video. I want to see it, but they ain't never gonna show it.
But see, Errol's a big guy, man. I'm pretty sure he's probably bigger than Floyd, even back then. You know what I mean? They brought him in for a reason.
Yeah.
And even he was telling a story recently, a recent video I saw where Errol, and even he got so much respect. He's not talking too much about it. He was like, dude, he said, once I gave him some rounds and, the rounds were really over, but Floyd said, he's like, man, he said, you did all right for a bitch. He said, once I heard that, he said, I got back in the ring and we went a few more rounds. You know what I mean? So don't get it twisted. I'm fully aware of who Crawford is, that Texas boy is. You know what I'm saying? What he say? I'm the big fish. I'm the big fish. So now that's stuck. That's like his nickname now, or one of them. Who had that press conference.
If I probably believe it. It's probable that he probably did give the business to Floyd, and I think he's probably gonna give the business to Bud Crawford, and one of us is gonna be right, Miyagi. Either one of us is definitely gonna be right. And I'll say this: if you're right, I'm gonna donate to your podcast here.
Awesome, man. Hey, and you know what? If you got something set up and it's the other way around, I'll do the same thing, man.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to this. I think this is going to be, it's definitely, it's for the people. We've been waiting for this. It's been years. I'm glad to see the big names, man. They making it happen. This is much needed for boxing, for a while. And to some extent, part of the reason MMA kind of blew up is because there's been some lackluster stuff going on with the sport. My fault of sport of boxing, and so now it's kind of exciting to see these guys getting in there, man. And they mixing up and making it happen. And so I guess just to touch a little bit more on just from my angle, man. Shit, it's
The entertainment fights are coming up and coming, and I
Yeah.
think one of the biggest fights of the future will be the fight between Elon Musk and uh, uh, the Facebook guy. Help me out,
You think they Zuckerberg?
Zuckerberg.
You think they gonna get
Zuckerberg. I think they're gonna be able to do Mayweather Pacquiao numbers.
man? I don't think Eli. Eli, Eli is like a Batman type dude, man. I don't think
I think this fight
you
is
never
more
know.
probable than you think.
Is it?
I think it's more probable than you think.
I think it's good marketing. Ain't no telling what these guys got coming up, man.
Do they really need the money or marketing?
No, but they might be working on a big project, some shit they gonna release, coming down. You
Touche.
just never know with these damn
just never know.
billionaires, man, what the hell they got going on.
But
You know,
Zuckerberg trains for fun and he competes for fun. He's already fighting guys better than uh, Z- Elon Musk, which is why I got Zuckerberg, by the way. But
Does he actually fight? I saw
he
something
does
about
compete
it.
in jiu-jitsu.
Actually fighting? Oh,
He
I
does
didn't know
compete.
that.
He competes. He currently competes in jiu-jitsu. He fights on a regular basis, or in jiu-jitsu, not MMA.
Yeah.
But if he's doing this with even white belts in jiu-jitsu or yellow belts, it's got to be better than what he's going to face against Elon Musk. I would assume.
It wouldn't even be fair, but I don't even see Eli as somebody even out there play. It'd be nice to see. I mean,
think.
me personally, I'm
Are you
liking.
gonna Are you gonna buy the fight if they fight?
I don't know if I'm gonna buy it. Though. I don't know if I.
You're gonna buy the fight. Stop
Who
playing.
knows? Who knows? I saw, my guy,
Are you gonna?
bare knuckle stuff going on, man.
How about the Ngannou and Tyson fight? You gonna buy that one?
Who?
The Tyson Fury and Ngannou.
Oh, Nagano, yeah. Oh, see, damn, I don't even.
That's another entertainment fight.
It is an entertainment fight. I think
Are you gonna buy that one?
Fury is a boxer for real. Regardless of
Yeah.
how I feel about this era of heavyweights, he's a boxer. You know what I mean?
I think he's the
Nagano,
truth.
he's just a damn brute, super strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
African brother that's just built like a damn brick, man. But Fury probably gonna box circles around dude.
I
the
think we
whole
can
damn
agree. This should be
You know,
a dominant. If Tyson doesn't dominate every single round and every single minute, it will be a loss for Tyson. Considered
the
a
only
loss.
thing is, everybody can get caught. That's the thing. A puncher's chance is really just that.
That's
Logano has shown that he can put folks to sleep. So I hope Tyson don't get sloppy and let that boy hit him because it won't even matter at that point.
No,
he
no.
crushes people, man.
Ngannou has everything to win, nothing to lose, because he's going into a sport that he's supposed to lose in, and he's
Right.
making more money than he's ever made in his career. And Tyson Fury is just basically pulling a Floyd Mayweather, and was it a McGregor move? Just
When he hurt him.
taking that check to the bank.
And I'm not mad. Actually, this was a money move from Nagano too. I think they're
Yeah.
exposed in the UFC. Dana White don't really give a shit about what everybody think. We've been saying this for years about the UFC, and I got a lot of buddies that follow the UFC. I follow UFC guys. Unless you're in the upper echelon, man, you're not really making that type of money. I know dudes, their first UFC fight was 6,000 to show up, 6,000 to you know what I'm saying, to win for a winning bonus. And it's like, dude, that's why a lot of boxing, the boxers don't respect us. They're like, dude, y'all not even, ain't no money in that. We're warriors, but I don't like the way Dana White's been kind of playing us throughout these years, man. And the guy knows right, he moved around, and guess what? If it's the sport of boxing where he's about to get an $8 million damn payday, and his last check as a champion in the UFC was for $600K.
Yeah.
Come on, look, I was born at night, not last night, man. I got to go get that bag.
And everybody's going to say it. My point is, we know what's going to happen. We know it is most probable to happen, but we're still going to pay to watch it. It's entertainment. Boxing is the wave of the future. I believe that technical boxing will still also be there,
Yeah.
but the entertainment boxing might even outgrow the purses of the traditional boxing. And that's what's, I don't know if it's sad or if it's happy, but I say if you can get your money, get it. It's the law of supply and demand.
So, so to that point, you know, exhibitions have always been a part of the game. Muhammad's done them. Uh, Joe Louis, a lot of the old heads exhibit, and that's what a lot of casual fans don't understand. Exhibitions have always been around. Uh, you take a guy like Floyd, though, who's no doubt the cash cow. This dude is getting still 8 figures for exhibitions, and he should because that's his value. That's what he's built himself up to,
Yeah.
and so and he's capital. Man, who wouldn't? You're a billionaire already. In retirement, you just get to go around having fun, man. How can you be mad at that? And even with Tyson and like you said, with Roy and me, I don't give a damn how old they are. These are our greats. Their legacy is already solid in the sport of boxing. So I don't mind, like you said, this is entertainment. It's nice. Roy is still quicker than most, motors out here. Don't get it twisted. His feet might not move like they used to.
I know non-boxing fans that watch, the Jake Pauls, the Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr., but they don't watch traditional boxing. If you ask them who Earl Spence and Bud Crawford is, they probably wouldn't be able to tell you.
No.
But they'll be able to tell you about the fight between McGregor and Mayweather, or Jake Paul and I'm sorry, what's his brother's name? The other Paul guy in Mayweather.
Damn.
The Paul brothers, the taller guy, the tall Paul.
Logan.
We'll call it Logan Paul. Thank you, Logan and Mayweather. The entertainment fights that have happened is a new thing that I think is great for boxing, and it is also why boxing is still number one.
Man, they and it's one of the oldest sports too, and boxing ain't gonna never go nowhere. The money's there. Hell, I'm still pissed. I'll get my ass in there, man. When Mike had the what was it? The Legends Only. I think him and Triller might have ran into some business issues, but that would have been nice to get in on that, man. And,
now, this might change the game. Dana White's going to have to actually break bread to make that Elon Musk fight happen, Zuckerberg fight happen. He's not going to be able to pay him $500,000 to come fight. They're going to have to start paying boxing style money to get those two to show up, and they'll pay them. They'll get it.
He's got it. They don't even need it.
But they don't need it, but they'll get it.
Dana's done pimped the game so much, man. He's sitting on money out there, man. That just makes me so damn mad because it's like, dude, MMA, one of the most popular sports, even the last 20 years, man. It's grown tremendously because, like you said, the casual fan, it's as close to real fighting as you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Very technical, the casual fans really ain't watching it for the technical shit. They don't really know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But you got to respect the fighters, man. I think maybe he's implemented a insurance type of, plan and stuff like that for him now that we didn't have before. But it's like, dude, come on, these guys, you putting your body, your health on the line, man, and we just got to get better at that. And,
what can fix the UFC is competition. If somebody else comes up with another fight promotion company that can match the UFC, I think it would force the pay rate up. But until that happens, I think they'll continue taking advantage of their players, fighters, and not, paying them what they deserve.
I mean, they're the big dogs in the game. They've kind of monopolized. Think about it. They bought up Pride.
Yeah.
They bought up and absorbed the Strike Force, and a lot of that's where you got the Tyrod Woodleys and you know what I mean. A lot of those big names, the Amanda Nunez's and Cyborgs, and then the only one left is Bellator as far as the bigger promotions. And so, and he's just letting them
more competition.
Right.
You got Golden Boy, you got Dan's, we got, the list goes on. And then if they're not offering them what they want, they'll go to the next promoter up. So that competition breeds income for the fighters and opportunity.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. So I mean, you want to give a couple any last comment about this fight we got coming up, man? You
Um,
know,
this
uh,
is. I don't think anybody knows what's really going to happen. I think anybody's guess is as good as mine and as good as yours. But I think you and I both have a educated guess on both of the styles of fight. I think the size will be the advantage that will give Spence the win. But
okay.
I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, I wouldn't be surprised. But I got $100 that says I'm right. I throw my money on it too, and that
All right. We'll
the bet's already in.
hundo. Yeah, we'll do a hundo, man. And I'm gonna go with the boy, man. I'm gonna go with Silky, man, because he's so smooth with it. He's not gonna stand in front of you like that. You know, he can, but you know, he's much more strategic than that, man. I think that he gonna, I don't damn, it's gonna be a chess match.
They
But
will.
I'm gonna go with Bud, man. I'm gonna
All
go with
right.
the boy Bud, man. You know, Big Miyagi, aka Coach Rico Lamar, man. We gonna go with the Omaha, with the Midwest boy. You know what I'm saying?
Everything's
Coach
bigger
Jimmy,
in Texas.
man, yeah, already, and that's what he said. He the big fish, man. So where can the people find you at, man? For your
Hey,
training and stuff.
I'm out here in the Bay Area. Bad to the Bones Boxing. You can see me on Instagram, Mr. Lee to you, LE, Mr. LE to you, spelled out.
Mr. Lee, that's right. And you already know, man, BCE, Boss Certified Entertainment across all social media platforms, man. King Vice Versa, IG, all throughout, social media, man. We're gonna be doing some big things over here, guys. We've been expanding the brand. We got some exciting things coming down the pipeline, man. We've added a film company to the brand as well. Also searching sponsorships, any type of partnerships, hit us up. Management at bosscertifiedentertainment.com, y'all. So you guys got any products, any things like that, you want us to throw in an episode and to help you guys push, you already know what to do. Contact us immediately. But otherwise, man, until then, y'all know we out this joint, man. We signing off. We signing off.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes, sir.
Imagine that.